Good God!
Hey everyone, welcome to the first edition of Hanging at the Tavern. Boy, we got everybody in here today. What a crew. Look,
the whole crew.
This is insane, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. This is so we're gonna do our all-out predictions on this Hanging with the Tavern. Let's go around the horn though. Let's see who we got in the room.
Sneed. I'm
Chad.
Chad.
You're not Sneed.
I said that's Sneed.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
I'm Mike Belcaster, man. What's going on, guys?
I am the OG Fig Kid, the staple of the Turnbuckle debate show, Thomas Montalto.
And I am the Booker Man, Boney Khan.
And it is time to turn your attention to the TITANTRON.
Good. I knew it was going to happen.
You're muted, buddy. You're muted.
We're starting off right.
Here we go. All right.
You're so muted. We can't hear
You're
you.
still muted,
We
dude.
can't hear you.
Oh my God, this is just perfect.
Well, anyway, we got Hawk.
Good
Are you
Lord.
muted
Okay.
on your screen, dude?
I tried to click his microphone. It won't let me unmute it.
What about your mic? Is your mic blinking?
You gotta click the
It's
little
definitely
picture of the
muted.
microphone.
Here's what it was. So when I click on it, it says can't unmute your guest. The mic is not.
There you
Oh,
go.
wait. There.
There we go.
Hey.
Hey!
Technology. Always like make the late entrance.
Perfect.
Hey, you're right on time. That's what my holy clock says. So.
Oh yeah, you fucking dick.
You got that drop, Sneed?
Bullet Club.
Holy clock.
Holy
clock.
So Tyson wants us to give a moment of silence for Daphne.
Oh yeah.
Pretty crazy, man, that happened. Big bummer. I was a
Yeah.
big fan of her.
Yeah. She was.
That's-
What
always
happened?
had a crush on her, man. She was one of my first wrestling crushes.
Dude,
Wow.
she was a very underrated wrestler for her time, man. She really pioneered that women's wrestling and fucking doing guy shit like the hardcore matches and all that shit.
Yeah.
Unbelievably sad.
Yeah.
Quite a few years ago, I watched a match between her and it was Talia Madison, Velvet Sky. It was a local show here. It was her and Daphne in a match, and they put on an awesome match. And after the event, she was super nice. But yeah, such a tragedy, man.
I'll always remember her and Crowbar. That was
Yeah.
like, you know, that combo together in late WCW. I always liked them.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you want to dive in? Or we're going top to bottom, right? So I just pulled up the card from Wikipedia,
Yeah.
and I guess we start with the buy-in, which
Yeah.
is Chuck Taylor, Wheeler Yuta, Orange Cassidy, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus against the HFO, and I guess that's Matt Hardy, Private Party, and TH2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kick us off. What's your prediction?
Go right in order. Start with Mike. We'll go right
Alright.
across the board.
I
Well,
like it.
Chad, you should go first then. You
I'll
can
go first.
Yeah.
I'm going with Best Friends in Jurassic Express.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right there with them. I don't see the Hardy family, kicking over the Best Friends and shit. So I'm all for the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, kicking it up. We're doing good.
Same. I don't think. I think there's. Honestly, I don't think there's a chance that they don't lose this match. So
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
he's just jumping in. There you go.
Yeah. Young Anthony, I don't know if you want to go ahead and.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's no way. They built them up for a while, best friends and Jurassic Express. I was kind of bummed out that this match wasn't on the main card because, like, you know, these are two of your biggest teams, and I like everything that they're doing with the HFO. So I'm definitely going to go with the faces on this one.
Yeah,
I think it's
Right. Yeah.
Everybody's. It's the way to kick off a card. You know, you
Yeah.
don't want the baby
That's what I was about
faces
to say.
losing in a buy-in. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
All
get
on
that
the
crowd
same
hot.
page here.
Got to get that crowd hot going off, and best friends and Jurassic Express are in it to win it.
Yep.
All right. So has anyone heard? I know that Andrade and Pac got dropped off the thing, and then there were rumors on Twitter that Andrade was going to face a mystery opponent. Is that happening or no?
I tried to look that up. I didn't see where it was confirmed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I haven't seen it anywhere.
Might just be a rumor. Who do you think he would go up against?
Ric Flair.
Well, Sammy Guevara.
They already did that in the pool a couple weeks ago.
Sammy Guevara
Oh,
came
yeah.
out and responded to Andrade's tweet and said, "If you want to
That would
steal
be
the
great.
show, I'll face you." But
Oof.
but
That'd
Tony
be cool.
Khan was on the podcast today, and he didn't mention it. So
yeah.
I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, but you never know. They have you have another TV taping or another TV with Rampage.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're kind of holding that card up their sleeve for Rampage, allowing people to tune in for tomorrow night. You know,
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So next we have the Casino Battle Royale. Do we want to pick? Do we want to do our Joker pick first? Because I imagine someone's going to have the Joker winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's
Yeah.
go for it, man.
Yeah.
well,
All right.
actually, I don't have the Joker pick, but we'll go ahead. We'll talk about that.
I'm really torn here because before I knew that they had announced all 20 participants, I had a
they
different
did.
pick. But they
Yeah.
announced all 20 except for the Joker. So I thought there were going to be multiple surprises. So the fact that there isn't multiple surprises, I changed my pick. Originally, I was going to go Tessa as the Joker.
Ooh, that would have been good.
But I'm going to go with the obvious pick. I'm going to go Ruby Soho.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna 100% agree with that because I don't know who the hell else it could be, and it seems like it's coming right up that alley. So Ruby all the way, man.
yeah. I mean, with her post that she had with the spelling out Chicago and she didn't spell out Chicago. She left the blanks for Chicago, and then with them announcing everybody, I have to go Ruby Soho.
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%. I really hope that it is her because she's going to do some great stuff in AEW. Her hype videos alone have been really entertaining. So I hope that she kind of carries that into AEW, that creativity. And I'm hoping that it's her.
Yeah, the sky's the limit with her. I mean, obviously, that's a Joker pick. Like I mentioned, that is not my pick to win. I don't know if we want to do that with that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, go
I'm actually leaning towards Anna Jay actually winning this.
Ooh.
Uh,
She got
then-
huge
and-
pop last night, man.
You know,
Huge
yeah.
fucking pop.
her coming back and whatnot, and it would be kind of a nice little thing because the last Casino Battle Royal winner was Jungle Boy, so why not have Jungle Girl?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Touche. Touche.
So obviously, we all know that Ruby is going to be debuting this Sunday, but I think they're going to surprise us. It's not going to be in the Battle Royal then. So I'm still going to go with my original pick of Chelsea Green as the Joker.
Ooh,
And
okay.
is Jay, because she's been everywhere. It just makes sense for her to pop up somewhere else now, just to continue with what she's doing.
Little flavor.
Like it would be kind of a cool thing. She's been in NWA, Ring of Honor, Impact. Like now, all of a sudden, she pops up here for that. I could see that happening. I could see Ruby coming out somewhere else to surprise people. And is Jade in the Battle Royal?
yeah.
she is.
Yeah, she's my pick to win it.
Oh.
That's a good one, man.
That's also my pick to win it, Jade.
Okay.
And then-
Who's
and
your Joker?
Ruby.
Okay.
And like I told you, it's because the girl I work with is a wrestling fan. And she told me, she's like, yeah, I heard Ruby's going to be debuting at All Out. I'm like, thank you for that. That's I need to know.
I have no idea who Ruby is, but
Exactly.
It reminds me of my wife. Like picking in a football pool. I'll pick the Cardinals because you play cards.
Well, it was hilarious because I go out today and I'm like, "Hey, who was that person you mentioned?" And she's like, "Ruby Soho," and I'm like, "Spell her last name." S-O-H-O. I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course."
It's like whenever your girl's trying to pick the 64 the basketball tournament winner. I like them because they have pretty jerseys.
Sneed, did you pick? Are you going Ruby to win it?
Yeah.
Mike, are you going Ruby to win it?
I don't know, man. Anna's a good pick, but I could see it going anyway. I think Kiera Hogan's pretty over right now. That would be a fucking badass win right there. You know, put her over, get her in the title picture.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick too.
Yeah, brother.
You going Kiera?
Go Kiera, brother.
Kiera?
I'm actually I'm still picking Ruby as the wild card, but honestly, I would love to see Jamie Hayter win it just to make it a little bit more interesting. Because you know,
that's a very good point.
Britt teased it on Dynamite. You know, she could win. You know, and she was like, "Oh, but it's not going to be anything because you know he's my bestie or whatever." So it could be interesting if she wins it.
Do you guys think?
There's
Please,
a joker
God,
right
no.
there.
Please, God, no.
Fuck.
That's a good one.
Hey, Tyson.
Do you guys think there's any possibility that even though they announced the other 20, that one of those is a swerve and we get two surprises in the battle?
100%.
Yeah,
100% that's possible.
It can happen for sure.
Yeah. I just
Somebody
find it
gets
funny that
attacked.
Tessa
But if
Blanchard posted a picture of herself working out, and it had an hourglass emoji,
that'd be cool.
and that made me think, like, does she somehow show up? And Sneed, didn't you float the idea that someone huge shows up on Rampage?
Yeah.
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 Like,
That'd be cool.
I mean,
it would be cool if like someone big showed up on Rampage, attacked one of the participants in the battle royal, and then's like, I'm entering.
Yeah.
I mean, also you got Penelope Ford and Bunny can attack Ty Conti, and all of a sudden she can't wrestle.
That's true too.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it wins Brandy Rhodes get off maternity leave. I feel like she could be due back, right?
She's too busy making knocking point wines.
Yeah.
Keep her out of this thing.
I don't
Shoot,
think
a reality show.
I don't think Brandy's in it.
I don't think there's been enough time in between.
I'll be honest. I'll be shocked if she ever gets back in the ring. I think she might just start doing behind the scenes stuff.
She's a publicity girl.
Good riddance. Get the Rhodes family out of AEW.
I'm with you.
Don't you say that about my baby boy.
Tell us how you really feel, Hawk.
All right.
You guys know how I
Is
feel
Hawk-
about it.
Is Hawk just like up against the ceiling?
I'm floating.
He's floating all right. That's not a lie.
So next match, John Moxley versus Kojima. I got Mox.
Yeah. No, I got Mox too. I mean, how can you not put Mox over?
Mox all the way for sure.
Yeah.
He was the go home last night. He came out with Eddie Kingston and Darby. They did a match against fucking Luther and Serpentico and some dude. Yeah, and it was like, but it was actually a really good fucking entertaining match. And then they even got Sting to swear last night, which was pretty cool. So awesome. Got balls, kid. I like it.
Wow.
Is there anyone who's not picking Mox? I should say.
Nah, I think this is gonna be a brutal match. This is gonna be like one of those just like down and dirty. Just we're gonna see blood, maybe even a hard way, even too.
Oh yeah.
Mox to a hard way? What the fuck are you talking about? That never happened.
It's gonna start before the match. He's gonna like headbutt the railing or something like that.
Yeah, he'll be bleeding before he gets to the ring.
That's funny.
Paul White versus QT Marshall.
Well,
When we're done talking about QT Marshall.
Oh.
Oh,
You don't like
bro.
QT Marshall, Anthony? What's
The
wrong
whole
with you?
Nightmare family. That whole shit's boring.
They did screw that storyline.
It was bad. It was real bad because the whole time I was expecting. I know we're going to sidetrack, but I was expecting at least QT to win one. But what was I thinking? Cody's.
Oh, dude,
Cody's the Triple H.
Those 2 or 3 weeks where they would cut to QT with Tony and he dumped the milkshake on his head. Me and Steve were like, "What's the point of that?" Like 25 seconds,
30-second scene that made no sense.
all to get
Grizzled
him,
shits.
all to get him with Paul White. Like, okay, at first I was like, "Yeah, you put Paul White over," but the more I think about it, it's like with this Billy Gunn thing that just happened. And I could see QT winning by shenanigans somehow.
Yeah.
Like it's the obvious thing. You would think a WWE thing to do is it's just a let me up match, 5 minutes, punch, choke slam.
Yeah.
We're all happy. But if you want to add a wrinkle to it, I think, this Gun Club thing could. I'm gonna go against my initial gut reaction pick, and I'm gonna actually pick QT.
Yeah, I was considering it too, but I just don't see Big Show losing, especially after the Gun Club shit. Like I felt that was so like hokey that they all came out and turned on him, and it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then who the fuck beats down Big Show? Like
He kind of needs his comeuppance too. They did that to him already. You're probably right.
Yeah. So yeah. I feel like Big Show's gonna go over. Just as like a happy crowd moment. Because they're gonna fucking. I think it's going that way.
I'm with you, Mike. I think my pick is definitely. I think Paul. I think Paul gets the win. Yeah, I think he comes in, he gets to put on his little show for a few minutes, and then gets the win over QT. QT takes the, takes the pin, and that's it.
I do think QT will do some shenanigans, though, for sure. Oh. Love Tyson.
Yeah. Thank you, Tyson.
That's nice.
Good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Glad we could help.
I hope the long ball segment made you laugh.
I saw that picture before we go in there, and Hawk, you're a sick fuck. Okay.
Oh man, it's classic. I love it.
Oh man.
Man.
Tom,
I think
who you got?
I'm going with Paul White because he needs a little redemption from his last runs in WWE to seem like a monster before he starts putting people over there, which is what he's going to be there for. So, but I think this one is all his.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long he's gonna actually. I don't know how many times he's gonna actually wrestle. Maybe this is it. I don't know.
Yeah.
This could be it. This could, just one last thing. On my podcast last night, I did my predictions. I said QT Marshall, but I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go swing back and go with the big man. So
It's a good card.
It's a great card.
Yeah,
Crazy card.
A 10.
If my prediction wasn't clear enough over my QT Marshall talk, QT Marshall better get ready to take this all out paycheck on his back after one choke slam in a 5-second match. I'm so not looking.
You make me want
seeing
QT Marshall to win.
Whatever you want. I will never support QT Marshall. I just think he's so bland, and I'm just not interested.
I agree with you 100%.
Thank you. You see, at least I always praise AEW. Like, okay, I'm an AEW fan now. This is my one thing that I will never be turned on.
Yeah.
Is QT
Hey, listen,
Marshall.
if there's only one thing you're not happy with in a company, I can't think of one thing I'm happy with in WWE. So
The only thing
You're happy reviewing SmackDown with me. That's one thing.
Yeah.
the only thing I was a fan of QT initially because I like the style he works. I think he has a great working punch. The dude's like fundamentals. He is one of the best working punches in AEW, but
Oh well.
Get ready.
Get ready.
Get ready.
Holy clock!
holy clock, man.
Holy clock!
All right.
Yeah.
So Hawk, you got who you picking?
I'm gonna go with QT because
Oh,
it
yeah?
just. I mean, I hate him, and I wish he would be out of AEW. And honestly, if he loses, he might as well be because they're not pushing him; they're just throwing him out there to get choke slammed by someone who's irrelevant.
Right.
I don't know. I was like, if he loses, it's like it's
Tell us how you
Bri-
really feel.
it's the same with Brian Cage. It's like you keep throwing these guys out there just to take L's. It's like just get him the fuck out of the company.
Wow.
So I'll go with QT because he's going to stick around.
I like it. So next, we have Jericho versus MJF. Career on the line.
Big one.
I think this is in my opinion, this is probably the most intriguing match as far as who's going to win.
Yeah, I feel it's so hard to pick.
This is a hard one. I'm gonna say Jericho. I don't think he's ready. I know there's arguments to both sides. Me and Steve talked about it on the podcast. We really don't know what Jericho wants. That's what it's all on. It's all we don't know what's in his mind. Is he ready to hang it up? Because I do think like if you put a stipulation on it, if he loses, I don't think he's coming back. I don't think they're going to pull this shit where it's like
They never do.
He's going to lose so he can go on tour with Fozzy and come back. No, if he loses, he's done. And I don't think he is done. So I think Jericho's finally going to beat MJF.
Yeah, no, he had that promo last night, and it was like they almost did it to where it was supposed to be like bittersweet, and he came out, and he's like, Chicago is Jericho, and did the whole shtick and shit. And but something seemed like it was like, oh yeah, let's make him feel like he's gonna go away, and like this is his time to, say his goodbyes before he leaves. But I don't see MJF going over as much as I want MJF to go over. I really do. It'd be interesting for storyline purposes.
Well, oh man, this is so tough because honestly, I'm at 50-50 on it. Like it could be either one. Just for the sake of the show, I'm going to say MJF goes over Jericho. This is it for him.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
I think this is it, man.
I'm with Mike though. When the thing that threw me was the thing that made me. I was on the fence, but I think when he dropped that line, "Chicago is Jericho," I was like, okay, you're really playing to our emotions right now. You're making us feel like this is your swan song.
I'm working it, brother.
Yeah. I don't think he's losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could honestly get 50-50 for me, but I'm going to pick MJF. I think Jericho, this could be it for him, man.
Yeah, it's so tough to pick for this one because they built it up really well that it could be Jericho's last match. But at the same time, I think that's the point, is that they wanted to build it up like this. Because I said it yesterday in the chat on the Dynamite Discourse that it's like, it's not, unless they really want to put MJF over, I don't think it's good storytelling to have MJF win all 4 times. I think the whole point of the Fifth Labor, if they were going to have this be all out and have that stipulation, then you can have Jericho lose because it makes more sense, to have MJF get that big win. But since he's already won and he's already won 3 times, I feel like this is the end of the story and Jericho's going to get the happy ending. So I'm going to pick Jericho for this one.
I when you said that in the chat, Anthony, I just happened to be watching at that time and I was like, that's exactly. Because to me, it's like, it doesn't make sense for him to just, that's how your career ends. You lose 4 straight matches to a guy. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It just feels weird for they
does.
built up Jericho so much and, he's going to lose all of these matches. Like he doesn't get one in. So, and I just don't think he's ready to leave yet, especially with, Punk and Bryan and all these guys coming in. I think they want to, he's definitely going to want to be in the mix of things. So maybe he'll take a little time away after this match, but I don't see him, going away for good.
He's still got a year and a half in his contract too.
Yeah.
It'd just be fucking silly. If they're just like, go sit down at home, we're going to pay.
Like, Tyson's bringing up the tour with Fozzy, and I heard Tom bring up the tour with Fozzy on the discourse, and maybe even Nick brought it up. But if you remember, dude, like his first year on Dynamite, he was touring that entire time and still was showing up. So this idea that he's going to handle that tour like he did in WWE, where he's going to leave to tour, I don't know, because he has a show the day before All Out and the day after All Out. They're actually touring right now. So I don't know if that's an excuse for him to leave.
Yeah. So last night I was 50-50. After last night, and I kind of talked about this last night on the Dynamite Discourse, but I'm leaning more towards MJF winning now. So like more 30-70. The reason is there was a couple things that happened last night that made me feel like this is it for Jericho, and over the past week as well too. So first thing, Ric Flair, if you had a chance to watch that promo on NWA last week, he actually dropped that, he's going to Chicago and seeing Jericho's match and this and that. That was one thing that was like, he respects the hell out of Jericho. He even mentioned Jericho in his Hall of Fame speech. So him and Jericho are tight, big time. So that right there was like, okay. Good and point. Then Excalibur, I don't know if this was by accident or what, last night, maybe a slip of the tongue, said, Jericho, this is going to be Jericho's last match. And then JR said, well, kind of almost like covering what he goes, could be his last match. That was yeah. There you go. That was in the first segment of the show last night during the Santana Ortiz and FTR match. And then the last thing for me that really set it off was whenever Jim Ross was in the ring, he started tearing up. Like those are real emotions as he was introducing, Jericho. And as we know, him and Jim Ross and Jericho, they're super tight as well too. Always have been. Going back into whenever Jim Ross started his old podcast. I think this is it. I kind of think this is it for Jericho. Not that I want to see it, because he's got a lot left in the tank.
Do you think he has that like Stone Cold quality to him where, we didn't know it was Stone Cold's last match? When he knew, when he went out to the ring to face The Rock for the third time at WrestleMania, he knew this was it. And The Rock knew this was it, but the fans had no clue. Do you think Jericho has that in him to do that type of thing?
I mean, honestly, what does he have really left to prove? Honestly, I mean, he's got a lot of good matches potentially. I'm not trying to say that, but I think his sole purpose of joining AEW was, I'm going to help start this brand, and I feel like he's ready to hand the keys over. I think he's like, you know what, my job here is done. Like,
J-Bone is stealing exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say he came here to start up this company and to get it momentum. And Jericho is the one who keeps talking about how it's the hottest wrestling company in the world. Yeah. Now you have names like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan coming in. Jericho feels like he doesn't need to be there for that to wrestle anymore. When you have the company's already built this momentum, you got more people coming in. He might feel like he's done. I'm absolutely going MJF here, because I think it's a friggin' nobody expects him to put over MJF in that way. But what a great way to put MJF over! He beats him 4 times. I love this, and he sends him out. I absolutely think it's going to be MJF, and I think you're going to see a lot of grown men crying, including myself, during All Out.
And I heard y'all talk about on the podcast. He didn't have this world tour. I think the labors of Jericho was his world tour, like his farewell.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, that's why I thought the 5th labor was going to be, the stipulation was MJF, and if he loses, then he would retire. That's why I thought we were going to get this at All Out. Mm-hmm. But
what do you want to bet, Mark? Talk to me
real quick. The reason why Jim Ross got fucking
over here.
The gambler.
Yeah, they got the gambler.
You got to know when to fold.
What are you saying, Mike?
The reason why Jim Ross was all like teary-eyed is because the crowd gave him a huge fucking pop when he came out.
Okay,
huge.
So that's good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they were saying slobber knocker, you know, and then they're
well,
good old Jim Ross, Oklahoma proud, baby. You
okay,
know?
well, that's interesting. Yeah.
So, man, this is interesting. This is the first one where we're split right now. We have 3 for MJF, 3 for Jericho, and Boney, what you said, man, really makes a lot of sense. Like maybe the labors of Jericho was like his final thing, but I wonder, is this MJF storyline, you know, this is culminating a year. It went September to September. So is this like his magnum opus? Does he feel like this is the last great storyline he's going to do? Hawk, who do you got? You're the last one.
I think Jericho wins but retires anyway. I've said that on the podcast. Because I agree with the whole 5 labors of Jericho. And I mentioned that like after the 3rd labor, I'm like, this feels like a farewell tour. Mm-hmm. And that was before we knew of the stipulation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this feels like a farewell tour for Jericho. And because he like fighting like old rivals from the 90s and shit like that. And he has the contract to go into the booth at Rampage, right? Like that's his future.
Yeah.
So and I just don't see him losing 4 times to the same person. I don't even think that's good booking. So I think he wins but retires also anyway.
That's interesting.
Good call.
I think if he does leave and JR saying that he's stepping down from commentary, I think Jericho takes the Dynamite spot. I think he takes JR's spot, and they make Rampage a 3-man booth with Taz, Mark Henry, and Excalibur.
That would be the smart thing. 4-man booth kind of
too much.
Too much,
yeah, 100.
Because not everybody gets to shine there. Where if it's 3 men, you get to shine more.
Right.
Yeah.
So, listen, how many of you will cry at that emotional moment if Jericho loses?
If they do it right, I definitely will, because I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, so some may know, but Jericho is my all-time favorite wrestler. I had the WCW Monday Night Jericho shirt.
Damn.
That said Jerichoholics on the back. Like from the jump, man, I've been a diehard. It was always Sting and Jericho for me. So
I mean, I will be. I definitely will be.
It would be bittersweet because I was there for his WWE debut, and it would be fucking crazy to see.
Dude,
see the
what
ending,
about
man.
that? Where was his WWE debut?
Yeah, but he
down the road at the
he
Allstate Arena.
Yeah,
Chicago.
it's a rock and roller.
I mean, I think like when Anthony had when you were doing the top, what were you doing, Anthony? Top 10, top 5, the thing you were doing with the podcast?
Oh, the top wrestlers thing.
Yeah. When I submitted mine, Jericho is like in my Mount Rushmore of all time. That's a controversial pick when you've got the Stone Colds and the Ric Flairs and the.
Didn't you put
all
him
of
number
those
1?
guys,
It was definitely in your top 3. It was like 1.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ric Flair was number 1, I think. Ric Flair, Jericho, Undertaker, and Stone Cold, I think, is my Mount Rushmore.
There is such a legit argument for Jericho being a GOAT for how long he stood on top and just recreated himself and never got
multiple
stale.
Companies. That's the
in
thing.
Multiple
that sets him
companies
apart.
across the world, not around the whole world even. You know, with the Painmaker over in Japan, it's just, man, there is a serious argument for him being a GOAT because he is that good. He stayed that relevant, and he adjusted his in-ring style so he never even looked old in a ring.
Dude, there's a serious argument that the last 6 years of it from the what was the Kevin Owens thing, the Friendship?
Yeah, Festival of
Festival, yeah.
From the Festival of Friendship to today, I think is arguably his greatest body of work.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all.
And I mean, like, I love how he went from the list, but immediately cut it off, went to Painmaker, cut that off, went to Le Champion, to Demo God, you know, like just, but he just like, nope, I'm not this anymore. I'm this, you know.
Yeah.
He's gonna. Pulse, he's definitely gonna go down, and that was one of the things I love about MJF's promo last night is he went like lifted all of his different little nicknames, going way back from Cowboy Chris Jericho all the way to Demo God, you know, and just rattled them off.
He didn't say Y2J.
Maybe that's trademark. Maybe that's trademark.
Yeah, that was the one thing he didn't say, and I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
bro.
probably trademark. Because if you think about Sexy Beast, that's not really trademark. Ayatollah Rock and Roll, he said that in WCW.
Yeah.
I would imagine Y2J is probably trademarked. So,
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Next
I feel like
match.
this is definitely the most divisive one, though.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, it
It's
definitely
split
is.
right down the middle. We have 3 people picking MJF and 4 picking Jericho. So
awesome.
Good shit, Bell.
next match, Miro versus Kingston. I'm going Miro. The reign continues. I'll even say this. I'll throw this out. I think this match ends with CJ Perry on his arm. All of these mentions of his flexible hot wife will pay off. She will be on his arm when he wins this match.
Very nice. Very nice.
My name is Mero.
I am the champion of the gods. You know, it's good. It's good. My wife, she's flexible.
You don't forget the TNT title.
I think this is going to be probably one of the best matches on the card, like physicality wise. I think it's going to be close as shit, but I think Miro's going over. It was like no doubt about it. Eddie brought up some cool points yesterday. He's like, I'm going for his fucking neck. I'm gonna bust his fucking balls. That prick. Like, I'm up for it, man. But I think Miro's gonna come out and fucking do his Miro shtick and just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
so I'm here for it.
I think it's going to be an amazing match. I love the promo where he was talking about, without the title, you're not God's favorite. You have to have the title. Grab my hand. We'll walk through hell.
Yeah, that was
awesome little
good
promo.
shit, man.
So good. I still think Miro wins, and I do agree. I think CJ Perry is there. I don't think there's a question she's going to show up, but yeah, Miro wins.
I love how Eddie Kingston is always just such a reliable plan Z because he keeps getting put in these last minute feuds and he always kills it. And I just love that about him. But I really like your prediction, Chad, on getting CJ Perry in there at the end because I feel like that's the only type of story that we've gotten consistently for Miro besides just the occasional challengers. He keeps mentioning her. So I think that would be a good culmination. And it would fit the character really well. I think, you're in a spot with Miro, whereas you weren't with the best man or whatever. Now you can slot her in and it makes sense. So yeah, I think CJ Perry could even cost Kingston the match. And, but at the end, I think Miro's definitely taking it as well.
And she just adds a wrinkle to Miro.
Yes.
A new wrinkle to Miro that'll be, he's God's favorite champion and now the hot wife is on his arm. How is she going to be? What's her character going to be? I think I think Eddie's going to take him to the brink though.
Yeah.
He's going to take him to the brink.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say. I think this could, I'm not going to say a show stealer as much, but I think it's going to be it's going to catch people off guard, this match. And because I don't think people really focus on there. You got the Jericho match, you got the CM Punk, you got the championship match, and people are like, I think this is going to be a great opportunity for Eddie Kingston to really shine, much like Orange Cassidy in the Double or Nothing, when people were like, wow, okay, Orange Cassidy could actually be a championship contender. I think people are going to be like, Eddie Kingston, wow, they see him for his promo work, but I think he's going to really shine here. But my pick is Miro to go on and win.
So I'm going to use my AEW strategy here. This is the one where I think everybody's thinking it's going to be Miro.
Here we go. This is like his catchphrase now.
And I think I think that Eddie was so popular when it hit with the live crowds. I think it's time for him to get a reward, get that title, get the payoff. I'm picking Eddie Kingston. I'm going out on a ledge, and I'm picking Eddie Kingston to probably be. Well, I won't ruin my other picks for now, but I'm picking Eddie Kingston to win the belt tomorrow. Shock the world.
You're falling off that ledge, Tom. I'm sorry to say that.
Dude, probably because my gut says Miro.
Miro's a monster, and he has. Let's be honest. When you look back at the people he's faced, he hasn't had any of those big matches.
No,
he hasn't had a lot of them. I mean, he's been Dante Martin, Fuego del Sol. we need to see him against challengers to really make him a monster.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. That's why I think they're going to shock us because nobody's expecting him to lose tomorrow. And imagine the eruption if Eddie Kingston wins.
Sometimes predictability is the right way to book, though. You don't
That
want to
is true.
swerve just to swerve.
That is true.
Well, if they swerve with Miro, it just doesn't make any sense to me because they built him up as just like this powerful, just unstoppable force for the last couple months. And then, like Chad said, he hasn't wrestled anyone tough. So the first time they put him up against somebody like Kingston and then he just falls, I don't know. I don't think so. And I like Kingston
too.
I
like
Kingston
that Tom's going Kingston. We got to have those, like, because if it happens, we're all going to be like losing our minds. Like, Tom was right.
Yeah.
Shh, don't say that.
So next we have the cage match. Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers for the tag team titles. I'm pretty confident. I think with this one, Lucha Brothers are getting those straps. This is they had that absolutely epic ladder match with the Lucha Brothers 2 years ago at All Out. I feel like this is a good. Lucha Brothers was one of those first tag teams they signed. They deserve a title reign. I think it's time for the Lucha Brothers to get the belts.
Yeah, I would like to say it would be the Lucha Brothers, but I don't think they're ready to break up this role that the Bucks are on. And I was completely different last week, but like I seen the matches yesterday, and I was like, something feels off about this, especially with that whole fucking ending segment, and it seems like they're going to keep going with this elite storyline for a little bit longer. And I think that this is going to be a fucking hell of a match. Yeah.
Like if Adam Cole's possibly coming in, like maybe they want the elite to be strong when he comes in.
Yeah. You get, who knows, but I feel like I know it's going to be a great match, but this is definitely not the time. It doesn't feel like it. Like it didn't feel like it live. I was like, oh fuck no. Like changed my whole goddamn mind. I was like, oh fuck. But yeah, so I think it's going to be great, but I think I'm going Bucks.
I'm going Lucha Brothers, man. I think it's time. I think it is time for the Bucks to. I don't think they need the championships right now. I think they're so over, and with Adam Cole coming in, I don't think they need them. I think that will help the storyline with Andrade, and it'll put more validity to the Lucha Brothers when they do leave Death Triangle, and then go into the storyline with Andrade. I 100%. I think it's going to be Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree. I think it's definitely going to be the Lucha Brothers. It was a tough call because, like Mike said, like it feels a little too soon to break up this whole elite thing. But like, I watch Dark and Elevation all the time, and they're always main eventing, and they always get like a huge pop. So strike the iron while it's hot. You know what I mean? Like, you have probably your most over face tag team. It's not going to get better than this for a chance to take the belts off of the Young Bucks. Be it that the Bucks have already beaten like all the other tag teams. So I also like the idea of the Lucha Brothers being like the thorn in the Young Bucks side of like, this is the team that they can't get over. And also the cage match kind of protects the Young Bucks so that if you want to keep them going for a little bit, you don't have to pin them, I guess, if you have that angle to it. But it's going to be a great match either way, but I really want to see the Lucha Brothers get the win.
For me, I think Lucha Brothers. I think honestly, I expected them way back when they first introduced the tag titles. When they had that tournament, I expected them to win.
Yeah,
and that was the first AEW swerve when they had SCU winning. So I think it's time. Give them the straps.
Tom.
Lucha Brothers are so good. Their match against Jurassic Express last week on Rampage was amazing.
Yes,
but I agree with Mike. I'm going Young Bucks here. I think they need that one legitimate victory, like as heels, without the outside interference or any shenanigans. Put them over here.
They're going to keep
rolling.
There's going to be shenanigans, man.
There's going to be shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm sure there will. That's true. It's going to be the Elite are just going to keep rolling a little bit longer. I think the Bucks are going over.
Nah, Lucha Brothers strictly because I think Ray Phoenix might be the best wrestler in AEW. And
Yeah.
now with this whole new audience with Punk and I guess all these other people coming in, they're going to showcase it.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said last night on the podcast, Ray Phoenix is the type of wrestler that like word of mouth carries. You're like, you got to see this guy, what he can do in the ring. And then people tune in just because they heard that this guy is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think if you put the belts on him, it just legitimizes it more.
Yeah, he's one of the best wrestlers they got. I could watch that motherfucker work for days.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anybody else in any other wrestling that can do what he does, or is he kind of like a one of a kind?
No,
He's one of them. He reminds me of like a new version Rey Mysterio. Like when we first saw Rey Mysterio, we were like, "Oh shit, this guy!" Like this guy, he's like on another level. Like because he's also like he's not as small as Rey was, you know, and he's just but he could do the stuff that Rey did. And somewhat still does. But whenever Ray was out there, you know, doing his stuff back in the WCW days, I was just like, unbelievable. He's just so smooth.
Nobody has balance like him. How he can walk those ropes.
That's amazing.
It's insane. I'll say this before we move on. The Pac Andrade thing threw a wrench in for me because I think they're setting up. I think they're setting up for the Lucha Brothers to turn on Pac, join Andrade, have the titles, and I think we're seeing the early formation of an actual like powerful faction.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Like Andrade, Chavo, the Lucha Brothers, like they're mid card now, but I think that is a faction. Once the Elite kind of go away, that could become like a main event faction, in my opinion.
I honestly, I could even see Adam Cole, you know, joining with them. You know, you know, everybody's expecting him to go straight to the Elite. Why wouldn't he go with join up with like a Andrade type deal? Yeah. You know, maybe he's like the boss. Or another thing I would also love to see is you have the executive boss, Ric Flair coming in.
Yeah,
and
that'd be cool.
You know, that would be really cool. really cool. You know, just coming in with all his swag. Only how he can look, baby.
Yeah.
Takes a bump off the top of the cage.
Oh man.
We don't need to see that. We don't need to see that.
So next we got the women's world title match. Dr. Britt Baker against Chris Statlander. I don't think there's any way Britt Baker loses this match.
Yeah.
I'm happy Chris Statlander got the spot though. I was expecting them to do Britt and Thunder Rosa here to get that rematch, but they might be building it up a little bit more. I'm just really happy that Chris Statlander's in this spot. She's been doing great, and I think Britt will definitely win, but I could see them kind of stretching this out a little bit and maybe doing another match at the next pay-per-view to kind of give it more of a story. Now that you have Jamie Hayter in here and everything with Chris Statlander. Yeah, I just want to see more Chris Statlander is what I'm saying. But for now I'll give it to Britt for sure.
This match for me was like this was like a dream come true match, but I've been disappointed on how they've handled it recently. I don't think they've given it enough time to breathe. Because Chris Statlander is so good and Britt Baker, both of them are phenomenal. I wish they would have kind of given him more time. In fact, I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago on Dynamite Discourse. I think it was when I was with me and Mike. I wish that they just kind of like, oh yeah, and this is happening. And that's kind of one gripe I have with AEW right now is, they just kind of put two women together right now and like, okay, y'all go have a match. There's no story, nothing for us to grab onto, and they have phenomenal workers. I think they have a better crew than WWE does, to be honest with you, and I think they could do better with them, feature Jade more. Jade Cargill, she's phenomenal,
she's winning the Battle Royal. Don't worry.
I don't have so much a problem of not featuring Jade as much because I think she's so fucking green.
Yes.
But I do
Just-
have a problem with the
she's
way
one of
they've
them.
built this Statlander Baker because
Yeah.
I feel like
Mm.
for 4 or 5 weeks, this whole thing has been built with Britt
Videos.
doing an interview in the back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all it's
Yeah.
been.
Right,
Is just
exactly.
her cutting an interview with Tony, and then like, where's the physicality? Where's them jumping Chris Statlander? Where, we need more investment in it, and just having Britt do a minute monologue and then hit the DMD. You got to do more than that.
And you know what's really weird is that I feel like in recent weeks they've been better with the storytelling, because that was a huge problem for me too, was that, it just felt like the women's matches were like filler, where they would just throw 2 women together and, there's your match. But I feel like the story, like even with this whole Tay Conti, Penelope Ford, that whole thing, at least there's a little bit more storytelling.
Yeah.
Now you look at the match for the pay-per-view and there's been like little to no story there. So like, you could do everything you can on Dynamite with your other women, but when it comes to your main feud, you have nothing there. And I think that's
Right.
just really weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Statlander is definitely going to be a champion one day. It's not her time yet, and it's not Britt's time to give up that belt yet. So Britt's going over.
Yeah.
Is
Well, for-
anyone going Statlander?
I'm gonna go Statlander right now.
Ooh, wow.
I
You're
think
insane.
no,
No way.
I feel like that the best friends whole gimmick is super fucking over, and they haven't had like, if they're not going to do many title changes the show, this could be the one that could do it. And I think the crowd would fucking ignite for Statlander going over DMD. But
No.
that being said, DMD's fucking like huge over. There's no way to fucking work around that.
Hey, it's Sneed.
There's
Had a little internet issue.
Fun
This
stuff.
is the surest match of the night. This is the one where I'm sure Britt Baker's winning. There's no way they're taking the belt off her already.
Statlander.
You gotta sell more towels. You gotta go over. They're still selling those fucking things, man. They had them at Rampage when Punk came out. They still have them tonight or yesterday.
So what do you think, Sneed?
So we're on the Britt Baker
Yeah.
match, right?
Statlander.
Yep.
Yeah.
Britt Baker. I think Britt Baker, and I mean, it's going to be a great match. I love Statlander. Love that she's getting this match. But I don't think it's time for Britt to lose
No.
the title.
She just got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She
just got it.
that belt.
It's not time. Now, I'm not saying something big won't happen in this match. Somebody comes out, who knows? But
Well, I think this is the moment where we see the first great feud for Britt Baker. Whoever wins, if they book it right, whoever wins this battle royal, I think is going to be, whether it's Ruby Soho or Tessa Blanchard, if she were to show up somehow in it, or I feel like this is going to be a good storyline coming out. Even if it's we forgot to mention Thunder Rosa. It could that is
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
best women's rivalry
Wow.
they've had in this company. That could be,
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
so
I like that comment that we just put up from Nick. Imagine Perazo enters the Battle Royal and wins it.
oh man, yeah.
That would be pretty insane.
She's been on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Give her all the
she's-
titles. She deserves it.
Yeah,
Let's
she's
just give her all
Omega
the
right
gold.
now. She's got the AAA title.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, last 2 matches. Before we get into the last 2, I do want to say, I want to ask your guys' opinions. Who do you think main events this match? Or who do you think main events this card?
Punk. There's no way you can't put Punk in the main event in Chicago. His
Unless
first
it's
match back.
Jericho's last match. If they anticipating it being Jericho's last match, I think that's how you'll be able to tell if it's the main event.
Well,
I think it's Jericho's last
But
match.
that's the problem is if it is the last match, people are like, okay, well, this is Jericho's last match.
Yeah.
So I think it's Punk, without a doubt.
I think it's Omega.
I'm going with Omega too. Yeah,
I
you
think
can't
there's
fucking.
going to be a major fucking surprise.
Yeah,
You're not
I
going
think
to,
that's what it relies on is if there's a major surprise like Cole
Yeah.
or Brian, then it could be an event.
Punk
but I don't
will,
know.
Punk will main event if there's no surprise.
Right.
If there's a surprise, Omega's in the main event. Daniel Bryan comes down and looks him in the eye once he beats Christian Cage. Calling it right now.
Yeah,
Or
I like
Adam
that.
Cole. It's going to be Adam Cole or Daniel Bryan. Whatever they choose to do, and send the other person to Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I think Omega is going to be the main event. Omega versus Christian.
Yeah.
that's the main event. And I think Adam Cole comes out.
Adam
I think
Cole,
so
wow.
too. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Hey, Omega wins. Fucking crowd, mad heat, and then the final countdown hits, and it's that's gonna begin the final countdown for the Elite. So it's gonna be. So that's So it's gonna be like, fuck you, buddy. Like we're going down. And who else better to take off the title from Omega besides like Punk right now? And like I think Punk's just there to help and fucking get some good work, but I think Brian's gonna be there to be like, I'm going after the best, the belt collector, and like I'm all for it, man.
He did specifically call out like he wants to face Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
this was like right around WrestleMania time.
He did that interview.
Yeah.
Dude,
and he had mad heat last night. Kenny was fucking like when the camera cut off, he was holding Christian up to the crowd. He's like, take a picture with your fucking champion because you're never going to see him with his belt. And like he was like dead, and he's just
Tony
holding him by
Khan
the
came
head.
out, right? And was throwing a fit. Wasn't Tony
Yeah,
Khan throwing a fit?
They sent out a bunch of people. Orange Cassidy was out there, Kazarian, and the Elite was just beating the shit out of fucking everybody in the ring. It was good, man.
Dude, you're in such a good place as a company when the two potential surprises you have would both be epic. You bring in Daniel Bryan, that's an epic storyline. You bring in Adam Cole, there's that history with the Elite and the Bullet Club. Like that's a built-in. So either way they choose to go would be amazing.
Yeah.
What if they go both?
What if I'm assuming we're gonna get something tomorrow, and I don't know what it is. I feel like we're having something big because you got to sell that fucking pay-per-view. Not that they haven't sold the pay-per-view enough already, but they're gearing up to make some fucking history going down. So I think we're gonna get a big surprise tomorrow night.
I still think we're getting Daniel Bryan and Arthur Ashe. I still think that's the big. I know they've talked about him coming out. I know the rumor is he comes out, but I still think that they hold him for Arthur Ashe and do Adam
20,000 people going yes. I mean,
yeah.
I think you could have, just be a little more patient. You're gonna have to be a little more patient.
You could have Adam Cole come out tomorrow, Sunday night, and challenge him at Arthur Ashe, challenge Omega at Arthur Ashe, and then Omega wins and
Daniel Bryan
comes out. Yeah.
Could you imagine I'm not big on triple threats, but could you imagine a triple threat between Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, and Kenny Omega?
Stop it.
Oh, God damn, dude.
Stop it.
Throw CM Punk in that match too.
Dude,
why not?
Then you let it go to the 1 hour time limit draw. How amazing would that be?
60 minutes. Let it go.
Damn.
We need some shit like that.
So
yeah, would be the bee's knees.
Yeah,
you were dead.
I thought you were dead. That's a good one.
Punk versus Darby. This is an intriguing one too. Even though I think Punk is the type of guy who would put over young talent. He's been so high on talking about young talent. I feel like Punk wins. You can't have him lose in Chicago. You can't.
Not his first match back. He's a fucking over baby face. Unless there's a really fucking like dirty heel turn on his part, I don't see, which could be possible.
Yeah,
I can see Punk getting fucking back into his, hey, fuck you, pal, I'm not doing this shit. But I think it's gonna be really good. I think he's gonna put him over in the match, but I think he's still winning. Like I feel like Darby's gonna like really get his shit in. Get your shit in, pal. And then it's just gonna go down to. Yeah, then it's gonna come down to like the line, and it's gonna be like, what's gonna happen? And then your Punk's just gonna fucking GTS, boom, game over. Crowd goes home happy. I can see that being a main event too. You totally see that being a main event.
Absolutely. I think I gotta go Punk. I it's such a hard one because I can see Punk putting him over, but if he's gonna wind up going for the championship, you can't have him lose his first match. So I gotta go Punk.
Yeah, I think Darby's fine with a loss. Like he's already beaten Cody. Cody put him over big. He already has Sting. He's beaten a lot of guys. He's gotten the TNT championship. Like he'll be fine to lose to Punk. And like we've been saying, he's back in Chicago. It's his first match in years. There's no way that I could see Punk losing this match.
Like they say, man, you don't always have to go over to get over.
Well, and that's kind of what I was about to say. The fact that Darby's having this match with CM Punk, his first match back in Chicago, is him getting over. That's him
Exactly.
getting over right there.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm going to go with Punk on this one.
Oh yeah.
Punk all the way, man. You can't. Come on.
Look at us.
What's your percentage?
You can't have Punk lose in Chicago his first match back in 7 years, man.
No, he's got to win.
I just hope he blows a kiss to Darby on the way out.
Yeah.
Hawk.
Punk for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the dude is. I just know that you don't hype the dude that much, and then like, just go ahead and lose to the smallest dude in the fucking company. Darby's like my size. I've seen him in person.
Yeah. Wait till you see. What are you, Vince McMahon? Wait till you see Adam Cole.
Goddamn no.
Hawk is like
Hawk's
the best
a body guy.
Hawk's the best litmus test because he knows none of these people. He's only been watching Dynamite for a year. He's not jaded like all of us watching for decades. He just calls it exactly like he sees it.
He's a little guy.
Did your friend at work tell you that Punk was going to win?
No, I came about that thought independently.
I like it.
Yeah,
It's his outside sources.
So, why didn't your friend from work join us today?
She's at work.
Is your friend from work the same one that bought the Hawk Sucks Egg shirt?
Yeah. I forgot she did that. She's never worn it yet. So
She's
weird.
waiting to break it out at the
Is your friend from work in a pipe right now?
yeah.
I get her edibles. She likes edibles.
All right.
She's a real person.
Yes.
I feel like we're playing that game. We're gonna just keep asking questions so we can guess who it is.
Kenny Omega, Christian Cage for the world title.
Fish on.
Fish on.
Fish on all the way. You guys, you hear it. Dude, does no one else hear fish on but me?
No, I hear Christian.
Okay. No, right. Of course, that's what you'd say. But you're thinking, you're like, yeah, I think you might be right.
No, you're not right at all. In no universe are you right, ever.
Fish on. That was the best.
I will say you are the only person in the world that's ever heard fish on. Ever.
No way.
Especially after the next word says, unless you're on your own.
Fish on.
Oh, it's good.
Fish on.
I love Tyson calls it out every time.
Every
I
time.
know Tyson is the best. We need a Hawk to fish on shirt.
Yeah, we need a fish
We
on.
do need a fish on shirt.
Fish on shirt.
Fish on and fat free.
Yeah. Yeah. Kenny Omega for me. Kenny Omega. The reign continues. I don't think Christians, they gave him that Impact title to justify this match. That was his win. He's not winning the AEW title.
No, I'm 100% with you on that. I mean, how can you have Christian win both titles? You know, that doesn't make sense.
No.
Especially because it's like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. But Kenny's fucking mad heel right now. Like the crowd was eating it up yesterday.
He's just getting worse too. Like he's getting
really good.
Man.
So true.
He ended out and he was like, thank you, goodbye. And he's like, fucking, I'm out. Like he was like, you could tell he just was full blown like putting into it. Like, I don't give a shit what you guys are doing. Like I said, this is my time, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
Dyed his hair black.
Yeah, black and
black,
blue
yeah.
back. It looks more like his action figure.
I'm so excited for this match because after watching what they did on Rampage, thinking, what?
Have you been in Atlanta? It's not fat free.
I'm in it right now. It's definitely not.
What are they gonna do to top that match? You know those two are gonna go, no pun intended, all out to have more.
That was intended. That was intended.
He said it.
It just came to me. It's I do believe Omega because this run is not ready to end.
No.
Like it's so good. The Bell
I feel like he's
Collector.
just hitting his stride as a
Yeah,
heel.
they put Christian over just to put doubt in people's minds. Can Christian actually win again? And when no, I mean, I'd be
And-
shocked. I
And
think
to
it's
Papa
Omega.
rating too. Papa rating as well. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always do a lot of crazy fantasy booking over on my podcast, and I feel like I haven't done any here, so I might as well throw one in for
Oh
the
my
main
gosh.
event. So no, hear me out.
Here we
So,
go.
I think Kenny will win. He'll win, be a very good match, 25 minutes, whatever. And then we could have the Bucks and maybe the Good Brothers, whoever, come out, start beating down on Christian. Adam Cole comes out, does the stare off with Omega, then super kicks Christian. And then we get the end of the show with the full Elite with Adam Cole now joining the Elite. And that's how we end it.
Yeah.
For a while, I
Awesome.
thought you said Adam Copeland. I was like, whoa.
That's next year.
Yeah.
Well, the Edge is under contract. It's not Adam Copeland.
Till January.
Contract does say Adam, but it's not Adam Cole.
You think you know me?
So
But
everybody.
yeah, I'll go with Kenny.
Okay.
Yeah,
I go with that's not going to be the match. And I just don't think, I still convinced my pick is Cage isn't in that match. For some reason, something's going to happen. Maybe like a pre-match beatdown, and then like Hangman shows up, and they're like, he's the fill-in or something.
That would be fucking huge, man. If they
Hangman
did
showing
that,
up, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
like
Hangman
if the
will be there.
Elite beat him down at the top of the show, and they're like, we don't have a main event now, and Tony comes out, it's like, we don't, and then all of a sudden the music hits and Hangman's like, I'll do it. The crowd would fucking explode, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, let's make this makes such perfect sense. I could so see something like that happen. What if that's how Daniel Bryan debuts?
I'm saying, man.
You got to do
It
Hangman.
could go either
if you
way.
do that angle, you got to go Hangman. You can't
Yeah.
give it to a guy coming in straight off the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true too.
If that happens, does Hangman win?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you do that, you have so much shenanigans with like the Dark Order and the Super Elite, whatever. I think it would just be so hot of a main event. The crowd would be going crazy for however long it is. But that would be great. I would love to see Paige in that.
Dude, that would be a
Yeah.
monster moment. That would be a monster moment if Hangman was like, I'm here. I'll face him if Christian can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Omega still wins because I think the Lucha Brothers are going to win, and I don't see the Bucks and Omega both losing the titles.
See, I feel like the next time Hangman faces Omega, he's got to take that title.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%. You
Listen,
can't.
it would make perfect sense for them to both lose in the same night to make the Elite seem like it's falling apart. I just don't think that night is Sunday.
No, I'm not ready for it. I want Omega to be champion for another year. To be
At
honest
least
with
until
you.
Revolution.
Oh, for,
I
yeah.
would love for him to build up to Revolution. It would be cool if like Omega wins, and then Cole comes out, but he comes out with the fucking New Japan Bullet Club, and they set up a fucking feud and like that. And they've been teasing it for all year.
And we get a
We
blood
just
and
haven't
guts
seen it. Yes, that'd be-
Elite versus Bullet Club.
Okay,
And
all right.
good shit, pal.
Dude, and then
Cole, Jay White.
Adam Cole's in another one of those matches because he's been in every War Games, and now he gets to come in and be in
Yeah.
another blood and guts.
Best fucking way to do it. Best fucking way to do that.
So Hawk, are you saying no matter what happens though, no matter who it is, even if it was Hangman, Omega is going to be the winner?
I'm predicting Omega to stay champion regardless of who he fights, but I do predict he's fighting Hangman Page. Is how I differ.
love that. I love
I
that.
pop for it, man. I'd be over for it.
If that happened, I would lose my shit.
I mean, it seems like such it makes so much sense because everybody's saying no, it's not going to be Christian, and I could see Omega just taking him out so he doesn't think he has a chance of losing the title that night. I
They
can
really
so
have
see that.
played. They really have played this up. This I'm in your head type thing.
Yeah.
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 So I can see it. Oh, no matter what happens, though, Omega wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yep. I think Omega wins, and I've said it a couple of times now, but I think Adam Cole comes out, they get face to face, and no one knows whose side Adam Cole's on, and it goes off the air like that.
That makes sense. Get you to
Oh,
turn
yeah,
into
good too.
dynamite.
It'd be very good.
And I think you're right, Chad. It's what you said earlier. They want to build up a Bryan versus Omega match. They don't want to have that as a surprise match on a pay-per-view.
No,
They'd probably sell more pay-per-views if they have it.
Well, I mean,
I think
people-
that's going to be Arthur Ashe.
Yeah.
Or
people
something
can
along those
say
lines.
whatever they want to about AEW not being sports centric as they said they were going to be, which I think is a good thing. I was worried when they were
I agree.
leaning too much into that sports centric stuff because I like a little
I think it's
entertainment.
perfect.
But one thing they have stayed sports centric, and you have to come in and win a couple matches. You don't just
Yep.
waltz into a
Right.
world title match. You have to
No.
win. They've done that with everybody. Christian came in, he's been on a tear to get that title shot.
Mhm.
They're not just handing out title shots. So I don't think, no matter who you are, Adam Cole, Hangman, I don't think anyone goes right into that title. Even if Adam Cole comes out, I don't think that necessarily means he's getting a shot at Omega's belt.
No,
I think it just means he's about to feud with the elite.
Yeah.
And then he'll work his way to that title shot.
yeah, you in AEW, you just don't win a belt in 26 seconds. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh
Doesn't
my
happen.
God.
I mean, does that happen anywhere? Who would do something so stupid? Oh,
You
Yes,
have
you'll
to-
have to
you-
find
you
out
have
on
to remind
Friday
me
for
of
the
that.
SmackDown recap.
Not in professional wrestling, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
That's
In
true.
sports entertainment, pal.
We make
Sports
movies, pal.
entertainment.
We make movies, pal.
He's gotta puke.
So yeah, that's all of our picks. That's
Man,
all the
what a
card.
card! What a card this
Yeah,
is!
What a
dude.
card.
And I
Fucking great
think
show.
it's going to get even a little bit better after Friday. I think there's more. They're going to add a match or two or something, or maybe some little stip somewhere. I don't think this is the final card. So
If
in fact,
we add anything, if they add anything, we'll have everyone write in their picks and we'll put it into the
there you go.
there you go.
database.
Well,
How
because
long do you think this pay-per-view is going, like time-wise? Because they
4
they
hours
have
at least.
4
Yeah.
hours. Yeah.
yeah, because like
Feels
you're going
like
to
a
have the Paul White match is going to take 10 minutes
5
with
minutes.
with
2
interview-
minutes.
with
That's all we
with,
need.
with entrances and stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 10 minutes done. That's gonna be an important where they put that match in the card because they could kill the crowd at some point.
Yeah.
But 10, 15 minutes with entrances, and then let's let people go to the stands, get their Punk merch.
Hell yeah.
And
Yeah, I think 3.5 to 4 hours is where they're going to be sitting. That's where most of their pay-per-view sit. And here's the thing, like, I don't have a problem with a 4-hour card if it's bangers.
Right.
course.
Yeah.
There.
100%.
If it doesn't feel like punishment like other pay-per-views.
or a job
Right.
like every Monday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when I watch a WWE pay-per-view, I feel like I'm clocking in. I have my time card. I'm
Yeah,
punching in to go. Like,
An excellent point.
who is Punk going against after Darby?
Anyone.
Maxwell
Anyone on
Jacob
that
Friedman.
That's what I hope.
I would love it.
I was gonna
That'd be
say that,
nice.
that's what I think.
That'd be great.
That'd be,
God
oh my
damn,
god, can you imagine them
if
promos?
MJF goes from
Dancing.
Jericho to Punk, this kid is just on a rocket ship, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny thing. Here's the funniest thing I've heard recently from the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, because Brian Myers, of course, trained MJF, and they were having dinner. Like, this is like a private dinner, and Brian Myers said that he referred to Sting as Steve. He goes, "Yeah, my buddy Steve," and he said he just wanted to puke when he said that. Like, oh yeah, my buddy Steve. Like,
That's
great. Well,
Oh yeah.
for all you guys that watch, thank you for watching. We will be back with another Hanging at the Tavern when Full Gear rolls around in November. We might go a little longer next
Finger
time.
guns.
We had Fig Night
Yeah.
tonight, so we're kind of against
Finger
the
guns.
clock.
Yeah.
So-
Next time we'll do it up against the clock.
Hell
so
yeah.
for everybody watching, if you want to stick around, you guys, Mike,
My brother.
Tom, Sneed, you guys have a pretty cool interview coming up.
Yeah, we
man,
do.
got Chris Metzger from Jazzwares. He's been designing action figure packaging since
and killing it too.
early 19 or late 1990s. So it's gonna be cool. So we're gonna hear his story and shit like that. We'll talk him up. It's gonna be a hell of a show. So excited for that.
Yeah, stick
Right on.
around. 15 minutes.
Yeah, brother.
Well, guys, thanks for everybody coming on the stream, because I mean, this is the first time we've had the entire tavern,
Went smooth.
the tavern crew,
Yeah.
Full bar here down
Full
at the tavern.
open tab,
Yes.
always an open tab.
So who's all actually in Chicago with us on Sunday? Who's going to the event?
Mike,
Just
Me.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Tom can cry by himself in his basement with his freaking wrestling figures when Jericho retires.
I'll be there with you, Tom.
I'll be with my
I'll be
wife,
with you,
Brian.
Tom.
Thank you very much. Every time I cry when something happens in wrestling, my wife always has to point it out. Are those tears?
I tear up. I'm a little bitch when it comes to stuff like I tear. When Punk came out, I had tears in my eyes. So
Yeah,
Hell
me
yeah.
too, dude. Oh, during his promo. Oh,
I'm
it
a
was terrible.
mess. If a commercial hits me in the right way, I'll tear up. I'm a mess.
Yeah.
Allegra.
I'm saying,
Like the little kids running in. You're like, what the fuck is this kid? He doesn't have a dad, but he's got allergies. What the fuck is Oh yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a blast.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Full gear will be here before you know it, and we'll be back with the entire crew. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Stick around for Fig Night in 14 minutes here at the Turnbuckle Tavern YouTube channel.
Bullet Club.
Holy clocks.